Who should really oversee Hurricane Melissa's recovery? Welcome back to CoverStory Highlights, raw, unapologetic, and grounded in truth. In this episode of CoverStory Highlights, we dig into a debate that has quietly become one of the most important governance issues in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. And it starts with the Prime Minister's consistent view that Parliament should provide oversight of the recovery process.
Here is the question. What mechanisms of oversight are we putting in place, and oversight which includes broad public participation? One. Secondly, how will the Parliament, including the opposition, as well as members of the public, participate in the Reconstruction and Resilience Program, which the Prime Minister announced? Those are the two additional questions. Thank you, Speaker.
Member from Southeast, Centre, for the two questions. So let's look at the one on trust, but it is also tied to the systems of accountability and transparency. In our system, Parliament is an oversight body. We tend to want to depreciate the value of parliamentary oversight, primarily because it does have a high political motivation, but that does not remove the obligation or duty of Parliament for oversight. So before I tend to diminish Parliament, the idea is to strengthen Parliament, because Parliament is the people's representative who have been elected to stand here and ask questions and make laws. So we must never feel that we don't have the power of oversight. And so I'm very worried when parliamentarians stand up and say, somebody else must look over us. Then why were you elected, if not to look over the people's business? No, but I'm giving you my answer. So I have never in any way abdicated my duty.
Now, let's be clear. Yes, Parliament has a constitutional responsibility to scrutinize government spending, as the Prime Minister correctly alluded to. Nobody is disputing that. The Public Accounts Committee and the PAAC exist for exactly that reason. Oversight is one of the core functions of the House. But here's the problem, and it's a big one. If an opposition member of Parliament asks for additional layers of oversight, especially in a national disaster where billions are being spent at lightning speed, why should that request be dismissed? Why is more accountability suddenly a bad idea? Jamaica operates in a culture where corruption, or even the perception of it, has long haunted public life. We have lived through scandals in every administration. And no matter who is in the government, the truth is, trust in the system is thin. So pretending that Parliament by itself is always enough ignores the realities on the ground. So let's break down the arguments for widening the oversight net. First, disaster recovery money moves fast, faster than the traditional checks and balances can keep up with. That's where the danger lies. Emergency procurement, rushed contracts, politically sensitive allocations, like the $10 million that they're giving to MPs, these things demand sharp, independent eyes. Second, Parliament is partisan by nature. Government MPs protect their side. The opposition pushes its angle. That's politics. But oversight shouldn't be collateral damage. A bipartisan or independent mechanism, as the opposition member questioned, reduces the risk of political bias and adds credibility. Third, international best practice shows that countries recovering from disasters often use special commissions, independent auditors, and civil society monitors to ensure money reaches the people who actually need it. Why should Jamaica settle for less, Mr. Prime Minister? But to be fair, and this is what CoverStory does, we are grounded in truth. So let's look at the full picture. There are arguments against adding new layers of oversight. Some will say Parliament already has the authority. Some argue that new oversight bodies slow the recovery effort. Others warn that external monitors can become politicized themselves. And yes, Jamaica's bureaucracy is already stretched thin. Those points aren't without merit. But here is the bigger question. What costs more? Slowing down a little to ensure accountability, or speeding ahead and risking waste, corruption, and public distrust? Disaster recovery is not just about rebuilding roads and roofs. It's about rebuilding confidence in the state. And confidence cannot be commanded. It must be earned. So, when an opposition member suggests complementary oversight, Mr. Holness, it is not replacing Parliament, but reinforcing it. Dismissing that call feels tone deaf, especially when the public is watching every dollar. In a country where corruption has been too familiar, where people have long memories of mismanaged funds and broken promises, oversight should be strengthened, not restricted. The debate shouldn't be about whether Parliament is offended. It should be about whether Jamaicans can trust the system managing billions of dollars in recovery funds. And trust, my friends, is the real national emergency Jamaica faces. This has been CoverStory Highlights. Don't forget to subscribe, like, yes, hit that like button, share this episode with your friends, and add your comments. Let's keep the conversation going, folks.